Well, my friend, Instagram has rolled out the creator account update and everybody is confused. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Bex. I am a book blogger and a lot of what I do takes place on, you guessed it, Instagram. There I was scrolling through my feed and a little pop-up appeared, and that pop-up said this: build your audience for Out of the Bex. Try Instagram's free tools for creators and public figures to connect with more people who care about what you do. And notice there are only two options. There is a start now and a not yet option. Does this mean that this is not going to be optional at some point? Who can say? But we'll get into that in a second. Naturally, I could not resist the urge to press start now, so I did, and I also pressed screen record, and I'm going to show you basically the entire process and then what it actually looks like once I signed up and what I think that all this mystery means. Once I pressed start, it basically gave me like 3 selling points on what this was supposed to be. The first one said flexible profile controls, choose to hide or display your category and contact information. The second one reads simplified messaging, a new inbox making it easier to manage message requests and connect with fans. And the third saying more growth tools, get more advanced insights and reach more people with promotions. That's kind of a red flag for me, but hey, I was already doing this thing, so here we are. From there, the setup is almost deceptively easy. All it did was make me choose a category similar to your page categories on Facebook. I chose blogger, but if you are going to do this, then of course you'd need to choose whichever one was most applicable to you. Then it gave me the option to turn on or off my category information. And from there, it just says your creator account is ready, and I wanted to see what exactly that meant. So I did a little investigating and a little chatting with friends to figure this whole thing out. Let's go through those 3 promises they gave when they sort of sold on that pop-up why we should do this. The first of those was flexible profile controls, and it turns out it's not so flexible. In my screen recording, you can see me toggling this feature on and off because it says in the subtext that you have the option to either display or hide your category and your contact information, but that doesn't mean that the two are independent of each other. So basically what that means is that if you want your email to link on your creator account, if you want there to be an email contact button, then you have to show your category. You cannot have one or the other. You can turn it off, but that means you don't have that email click through. If you can fit your email in your bio, then that's an option, but you also have to consider all the different updates as far as what they're doing to bios and the profile in general, which still hasn't rolled out on my account, but I've seen it on other people's when they screenshot to do shout outs. It kind of annoys me that they're selling it as flexible when it's not really what it is at all, and it seems like we don't really have much choice, which is kind of on trend with all the Instagram updates lately. I'd also love to hear what you think about having a category shown. I know it's not really a big deal, but what most people, at least in the book community, are concerned about is the platform being transformed into essentially a pay-to-play platform, much like Facebook did with Facebook business pages. And it's really been a matter of time until that rolls down into Instagram. So I'm not super surprised by this, and I'm not saying it definitely means that it's going to become pay to play, but with a decrease in organic reach from a lot of different people I've talked to that have been highly successful for years, it's definitely something to think about. That leads me to my next question about the creator account update. What is the criteria for being a creator account? I think everyone that messaged me back saying that they had been given the pop-up option, at least at the time of me recording this video, were over 10K. I wonder if the cutoff is the same for having the swipe up feature or if there's other things at play. We'll have to wait and see, and if you are lower than 10K and you got this creator account notification, please do drop me a message below so that we can all just sort of learn from that. Remember when the pop-up first came up, it only gave me 2 options. It said start now or not yet. So my questions are, what is the criteria and when is not yet going to run out? When's the clock going to run out on that? And are they going to essentially force the creator account and all that that means on whatever the criteria is? We'll have to wait and see. The next thing they promised, the second out of the 3, was simplified messaging. So I wanted to know what the heck that meant, so I went straight into my inbox. The first thing I noticed was that I now have a primary and a general inbox. They're 2 different tabs within my inbox itself, and I'll post a screenshot so you can see. My initial question is, what is the point of having a general and a primary? To me, anyone who sends me a direct message is primary because that's what the DMs are for. At least that's how I use Instagram. I like to use DMs to really connect with my audience. And I know that there has been some talk about Facebook pushing individualized one-on-one connection. And I'm wondering if this update is trying to increase that or encourage it or make it easier to manage, but I'm not sure if it's really pulling that off with this update. If we take a look at what Facebook has done with Facebook business pages, go to any Facebook business page and you'll see near the top a rating for how fast someone replies to their messages. That's been in place on Facebook for a while. I wonder if we are moving that same concept here onto Instagram. However, if the goal was to simplify the inbox, I personally think it has made it more complex and more annoying. I don't need my inbox to be split into general and primary. This is not an email inbox, it's a direct message inbox, and I would be surprised if it ever had all the functionality of an email inbox. It's just not the same, it's not used in the same way, and I think it's kind of interesting that they are trying to merge this. I have also heard that Facebook is going to eventually try and merge Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram messages into one mega app. And I'm not saying that's happening anytime soon. I mean, who knows? But it's something to consider. This split got me curious and I wanted to know how message requests would now be received. So I asked some of my following who had never sent me a message before to please just send me something short, and thankfully a few people obliged and I was able to see what happened. And what did happen frankly annoys me, and I strongly dislike this update for this reason. Take a look at this screenshot of my message request. You're gonna notice at the top there's an option to see top requests and all requests. So my question first of all is what criteria exist for a top request? I took a look at the information shared under these message requests and you're gonna notice something that they all have in common: follower count. Top request messages, at least at this point in my experimentation with this, are higher follower numbers. Then when I click into all requests, I have more messages waiting, and the additional ones populating the all requests field are lower follower count accounts. This is very irritating to me because I think it sends a really messed up message. It's saying you don't count if you don't have follower numbers, which to me is just completely inaccurate. I don't care what people who are DMing me to connect with me about my content or something they loved or something they wanted to share with me. I don't care about their follower count for that. It's completely irrelevant. And I think it's a little bit contradictory to what Facebook is saying about other updates they're making, like the testing of removing the like counter to supposedly decrease the competitive nature of Instagram. It just seems kind of contradictory and kind of strange. And I don't like that. I don't like it for the same reason I don't like the primary versus general inbox. Like, what do I care? I just want to talk to my audience. I would honestly really love to hear your feedback on this. I'm sure some people will like the ability to, I guess, organize their DMs a little bit more. I am not interested in that, but I mean, that's only my experience, so let me know what you think of that. But I personally just don't like how I feel like it says in the pitch. What did it say? It said, makes it easier to connect with fans. So I'm not sure how putting message requests from smaller accounts not in the top requests folder or function is making it easier for me to connect with my fans. Just a thought. The distinction at the moment seems to be that in top request, it's organized by follower count, and all requests are ordered chronologically as the traditional message request section was. The other change to the inbox is that when you accept a message request, it'll ask you if you want to put that message in primary or general. So I guess if you want to take advantage of having your inbox organized that way, then that's a great way to do it. But frankly, it just seems more confusing to me and I don't understand why it's helpful, at least right now. Maybe I'll change my mind. That would be great, because right now I really don't like it. Let's finish this out by talking about the third thing that this update or creator account update promised, which was more growth tools, get more advanced insights, and reach more people with promotions. Let's talk about the first half of this first, which is get more advanced insights. So I'm a book blogger, as I mentioned, but I'm also an Instagram coach, and I have years of experience in social media marketing and PR, and I'm a numbers person. I'm not intimidated by the numbers. I quite like it. If anything, I want more of them. So at first, this promise or this third point really appealed to me because I just like the nerdiness. I like the study of it. So I was expecting when I opened my Insights tab to be blown away by new abilities and new tools to look at my content and how it's performing and how I'm connecting with my audience. The only thing that I can see change, however, is pretty basic and pretty unhelpful. All I can see so far in the analytics is the addition of a growth chart, which just tells you essentially your unfollows and your follows for the past 7 days. And I'm not sure how that's very helpful, especially again when Facebook is talking about how they're trying to make it less of a competition and more stable for people's like mental health and social media and real life balance. I think it's kind of funny that that's the analytic they would put in, is the number of unfollows you get. So I'm not quite sure how that's really helpful, especially in just a 1 week window. Now, Social Media Today posted an article about the upcoming changes to Facebook this year, and in that article they mentioned the content creator update. There is talk in that article about an expanded analytics view on the desktop site. So I tried that and there's nothing there. You can't still access analytics, at least from my account. It's possible that Instagram's rolling out this update in small little snippets and we'll get more later, but right now I'm not seeing anything. So that was kind of a letdown, and I hope for more because I like the numbers bit of it, but I just think the only addition being your unfollows amount, just really, I'm not sure how that's productive or helpful. The second half of the third point was reach more people with promotions. This is an ongoing fear of mine and a lot of other bloggers who have taken advantage of Instagram's incredible organic free growth when you set up your profile right, of course. That all of this is going to turn into a pay to play, as I mentioned before. I think that's a legitimate fear because so many creators use social media because it's free. It's not like a blog where a blog can be free, but if you want your blog to be big and successful and have all the tools that it needs, then you do have to pay to play. Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, it's all free to start and free to grow, essentially. And now there's a concern that we're leaning towards more boosted posts. I have nothing against advertisements. I use them myself for my Instagram course, but I do think that there has to be some sort of limit. At the moment, lately, when I scroll through Instagram, it's about every 3 posts that I see is an advertisement, and it's exhausting. And I don't think that's good for advertisers either. It's overcrowded at a certain point. Will this turn into pay to play like Facebook business pages did? Who can say? A few years ago, I did a blog post, like an experiment between a business profile and a personal profile. And at the time, I determined that there was no difference, at least from my own experience. It didn't make a difference in my engagement, up or down, it stayed the same. I'm not sure if that experiment would do the same thing today, and my other concern is that there will not be a choice any longer to go back from a creator account to a personal account. We're not sure what Instagram is defining here as the creator account, but that whole not yet option was kind of concerning to me. What does that mean? I would love to hear some answers from Facebook or Instagram, but if history tells us anything, we're unlikely to get them. It's just going to be a sort of wait and see. I would love to hear what you think about this update. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What bits do you wish they would change, other than obviously giving us back chronological order, which we all dream of? But alas, it seems it'll be just a dream. So let me know what you think of this, if you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, what you think the differences will be between creator and business accounts. I'd love to hear what you think, because basically this is just one giant experiment and it's fun to be on the journey with you, my friend. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, do me a favor, just give it a quick thumbs up, drop me a comment below. And hey, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, but you do like all things bookish or just more intellectual, things like this, then I do hope you will stick around, hang out, get to know me, say hello. I post a lot about books and just essentially implementing what I learned from them into daily life. It's a good nerdy time here on this channel, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.